Hi there. So I just got back from a trip from Sedona. I had an amazing time, beautiful people there. And I realized, well, I've known this for a while, that I love, love, love doing live events because I love meeting all of you and feeling your energy. And some people get depleted from doing live events. For me, I actually get rejuvenated. So I love doing live events, and I'll be doing quite a few this year. But what I wanted to talk about is that I've started to notice that the question I get asked the most often is, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, what is the one thing that I would say saved my life? Because in case some of you tune in who don't know, I had a near-death experience because I had end-stage cancer. And subsequent to the near-death experience, after coming out of it, after coming out of the coma, my body, my physical body started to heal so that the cancer completely healed. So if I had to say one thing, now normally I say the one thing is that I realized I had to love myself, but that's very broad for a lot of people, and they don't know, what does that mean? How do I love myself? So if I had to really narrow it down, um, it would be finding my purpose, finding my purpose. Can you, so what I would want people to know is that finding my purpose is what saved my life, or understanding my purpose or knowing my purpose is what saved my life. So I now call a lot of the work I do the secrets of the afterlife, or unlocking the secrets of the afterlife. And as far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't be secrets, because people act like everything to do with the afterlife is mysterious, but I think it should just be made public. And so this is why I unlock the secrets of the afterlife. But the number one secret I would say that I learned that saved my life is, first of all, realizing and understanding that we are all here for a reason, for a purpose, and going on the journey to unravel my purpose is what saved my life. It is what, from the moment I came out from the other side, the moment I came out of the coma, I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm here for a reason. And I don't have to really work hard at trying to figure out the purpose. And if we allow ourselves to love ourselves and be who we are, our purpose unfolds before us. That is the biggest secret of the afterlife. Why loving yourself is important is because when you love yourself, you don't have to go in search of your purpose. It will start to unfold. It comes to you. And so I've now started to base most of my work around this very fundamental key, I would say, of the afterlife, because this is what makes everything else in your life work for you. Because if you know you have a purpose, and if you start to feel passionate about your life, once you know your purpose and you know, oh my God, this is what I'm here to do, and you start to feel more passion. And the way that your purpose unfolds is because you allow yourself to love yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you allow yourself to follow your passion and your purpose. And as you do that, your life has meaning. And the more passion, purpose, and meaning your life has, the healthier your body becomes, because your life has meaning. And I want you to think about this. Like, imagine, like, I meet people like this all the time, who are living lives that they hate. They don't like their life. They don't like their situation. And perhaps they're not even doing anything about it. They're like, this is my lot and I'm stuck with it and I don't have a choice. I have to go to work, to a job I hate, because I have to pay the bills. It puts food on the table. And they're living this life that they hate. Then they get sick, they get an illness or something like that. And then they come to me and they say, oh my gosh, you're helping all these people heal. Could you please help me heal? And I say, but do you love your life? And they say, no, I hate my life. So the point is, you want to heal an illness to go back to a life you hate. You have to change your life first for your illness to heal. Healing the illness is secondary. Changing your life And finding your passion and loving yourself enough to find your passion comes first, and then the healing can follow. And so we have it the other way around. We're like, oh my God, I hate my life. I have all these problems. I go to a job I hate. Now on top of that, I have an illness. The point is, the reason you have the illness is because of all the other stuff. Your body is more susceptible. It's more likely to create a way out from this life that you hate by creating some symptoms in your physical body. So we have it backwards. We have to actually change our lives first and then allow the healing to take place. So I am actually open to hearing comments and questions, but I also wanted to say that this is the focus of my work this year. This is the biggest secret of the afterlife. This is what my workshops and everything I do this year is about. It's about finding your purpose so that your body can heal and your relationships can heal, so that you are operating on a higher frequency, so that our beings on the other side can communicate with us. And I'll get to that in a moment. Abby, do we have any burning questions in the comments?
We've got some questions. We got some comments. One comment from Baja Girl on YouTube says, spot on about purpose. I know my purpose and I am not doing it, probably because I'm not loving myself.
Well done. Yes. And that is why in my early works, I always harped on about loving yourself, because you don't allow yourself to follow your purpose when you don't love yourself. You're constantly doing things to please other people, or because it's the done thing, or to fit in, or for approval. You have to love yourself, and then your purpose starts to unfold. Now, here's the other piece. People talk to me about guidance, about how do we get our guidance? How come you get messages? How come I don't? How come my deceased loved ones don't talk to me, or my higher self, or whatever? So the thing is, you really have to operate at a higher frequency so that they can reach you. When you operate from a place of, I hate my life, I hate my work, and you're vibing really, really low, it's harder for you to get those messages. And then you get sick and you're like, I'm not getting any guidance on how to heal. That's because you're vibing here. So start with loving yourself, and you become more accessible and more reachable to your guidance system. That's super important to know as well. And when you are living a life that is on purpose, you're on your mission, and you're excited about it, and you're feeling passion about it, you're vibing higher and higher and higher, you start to get more and more messages. Because remember, our people on the other side, our guides, our deceased loved ones, our higher self, our soul, they are not physical beings. They do not have vocal cords. They cannot stand in front of you physically and talk to you. They drop thoughts in your mind. They draw your attention to things, to songs, to words. They make you hear something. They just turn your attention to something. That's the way they operate. But you have to be open, and you have to vibe at a certain level. So, but if you do find that you are completely depleted and depressed and really knocked out, and you're like, I need their help, but I'm not vibing high right now. I can't because I'm grieving or scared or depressed. Then here's what I ask you to do. Open yourself up. Just say, okay, I'm going to surrender myself to you guys. I'm going to open myself out. I'm going to allow your messages to come in. And I'm just going to open. So in other words, when you are at rock bottom, the thing is, a lot of people at rock bottom are also very, very skeptical. They're like not open. They're like, I don't believe in this anymore. This is all nonsense. I'm depressed. I'm sad. They haven't helped me. I hate them. No, you've got to be like, okay, I have hit rock bottom. I can't imagine going any further than this. I have been so depressed, but what I'm going to do in this moment, I am going to just open myself up and say, I surrender, and I'm open to listening to whatever messages you have for me. And it's going to be slower because of the condition you're in. So be patient and don't allow the skepticism and the debunking to come in. But you can do this. So yes, I'd love to hear from you all here in the comments. And I'm going to ask Abby to shout out any more, and then
Well, number one, we have a couple people. Trinity is saying that she loved your workshop in Sedona this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
And then we had someone else commenting that they were on the cruise and they're for really practicing what you taught on the cruise and learning to love themselves. So
thank you. I love that. So, in fact, for those of you who would love to come to one of my in-person events, I love doing these in-person events more than anything. I am going to do my event, my retreats right now are called Unlocking the Secrets of the Afterlife. And I speak exactly about this. And it doesn't matter what it is you're going through, whether it's an illness, whether it's other things, whether you haven't found your purpose, all of it is encompassed in this because it is all about having purpose and passion in your life. And that is the most important thing I learned from dying. And I teach it so that you don't have to die to go through what I went through. And it doesn't matter what age you're at, because if I knew this, if I knew then what I know now, I never would have gotten sick in the first place. I never would have had to go through the arduous journey that I went through. I wish I knew this when I was younger, and this is why I teach it. And I'm doing the retreat in Prague. So I'm going to be in Europe. I'm going to be in Prague, the Czech Republic. I'm going to be in Vienna, and I'm going to be in upstate New York at the Omega Center. So these are the next 3 retreats I'm doing that are exactly on this topic. All 3 are weekend retreats. So I would love for you to join me. We are going to go on deep journeys, which I call them as near-death experience simulation. What do you call them? Simulations. That's it. Near-death experience simulations. You do not have to die. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to get sick. But these simulations will help you to really home in on your purpose and connect with your loved ones and your guides on the other side. And I would love nothing more than to see you there so that you can get the lessons that I wish I had all those years ago, so I wouldn't have had to go through an illness. And we will be putting links under this video and on my website. And even if you can't make it to my retreats, don't worry. You can still gain a lot from my work, from my YouTube videos, from my books. And do we have any more questions, Abby, in the chat?
So we have a lot of people asking how to find their purpose. And this actually harps on what we were talking about earlier, where you don't have to have all the answers at once,
Yes.
but finding the excitement. So if you want to take...
Yes, it's a journey. You do not have to have all the answers at once, but you do need to be around people who will not laugh at you, debunk you. So let me share with you a little story that I often share at my retreats. When I came out of the near-death experience, I knew exactly what I had to do. I had to be myself fearlessly. And I knew being myself would mean I would not fit into the community, the work, the job, all those things I was doing before. Those were the things that caused me, like, say, particularly working in the way I did and everything. That's what caused me to get sick in the first place, and trying to squeeze myself into being something I wasn't, whether it was to fit into situations, communities, and so on. So I knew that I had to create a life that was different, that was conducive to who I really am inside. I didn't know the answer right away as to what that would look like. Over the years, my life unfolded, but all I had to do was make the commitment to be myself fearlessly. And then my life took on a very different trajectory over the years. And if you asked me, like, how is it, like, if you asked me back then when I had cancer, how can I go from where I am there, lying in a hospital bed, dying from end-stage cancer, to where I am today, where I'm all over the world, speaking at events, writing books, and so on. If you asked me then, how are you going to get from there to here? I would never have been able to figure it out. Never. I am not that smart. However, all I understood was that I do have a purpose. I don't have to figure it out, but all I have to do is love myself, and love myself unconditionally. And as soon as I was able to do that, the trajectory of my life unfolded step by step by step, because slowly my own vibe was raising higher and higher and higher. And so this is why I've made it my mission to share this with people, because everybody needs to know this. Because loving ourselves and the importance of finding our purpose, these are things that you don't get taught. You don't get trained in it. You don't get taught in it. They're not even seen as something important that you need to know. And I made it my mission to teach it, to show it. And this is why at my retreats and workshop, we actually spend a lot of time going into a near-death experience, simulation journey. I keep getting caught out on that word. We go into a simulation journey where we recreate the near-death experience I had, but we create it in a safe environment where you are around other like-minded people. So one of the things that I learned during my journey is that I had to be around like-minded people so that I wouldn't have to keep contorting myself to fit in with the people around me. And so these are the kinds of things I teach, but those are the things that you need to do, whether you can come to my retreats or not. So I really appreciate you all tuning in. And if you liked this video, if you got something out of it, please follow me, click like, click subscribe, whatever it is, depending on which platform you're on. And I can't wait to see you again, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, possibly TikTok as well, or live in person. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all and see you all soon. Bye.